Hello. I'm just gonna improvise today because I really don't feel like going outside. Where the humans are. My idea was to make an ASMR by the pool. But when I went and checked the pool, there were like a lot of people, making a lot of sounds and stuff like that, and children and their parents. So I just thought it was not gonna be ASMRing, so I decided not to go. So I'm improvising here in my living room next to this basket. I think I'm just gonna be improvising and just talking about things that are inside my mind. Yeah. Oh wow, I really pulled these. It's pulling in. I've been thinking a lot about life and just growing up and eventually dying, like the evolution of being a human, growing up, growing old, and then dying. And yeah, I just like to think deep. I really do that, mostly at night when I'm songwriting. In case you're new here, hi. I like to songwrite and I do ASMR. And I'm a little emo, so hopefully the sounds outside are not bothering you, because I'm gonna move the second mic away from the window. So I just been thinking a lot about how most people have the 9 to 5 life, and what I mean the 9 to 5 life, I mean that they wake up, they brush their teeth, and they go to work for like a 9-hour shift or 10-hour shift, or it doesn't have to be a 9 to 5, but like a long full-time shift. And how the whole day goes into working minimal wage for a long time. And some people are like barely out of school, high school. Some of them are in college. Some of them have family, it all depends, but it doesn't matter. They're barely 18 or 17, or they're whatever. They still doing the same thing. A full-time job that does not pay you well and takes all of your time and energy. Yeah, some people waste their youth. They waste their youth doing that. And some of them, they're doing it and like for retirement, and they're getting old and they're already getting close to retired. And it's like you work all of your youth to finally be able not to have to work, but you're old and sick. What are you gonna do? you know, how you want to enjoy it. So it's just, I just don't understand why some people choose that life. And I know that many people don't choose it, but they're thrown into that life. And maybe they're not lucky enough to have parents who support them, so they have to support themselves. And they end up doing these crazy shifts of 9 to 5 full-time jobs, and then after that going to whatever school, college, or still high school, and then so managing all that, and then if they're going into college, all the debt that will eventually leads you to, because school is very expensive. So what is the point? What is the point of doing all that if, like, you really, for what I've seen, a diploma doesn't get you anywhere. You know, you can have a diploma, you can have a piece of paper that says that you study this for this amount of time, but in the end of the day, does not assure you, it will not assure you that you're gonna get that job. And I've seen a lot of people that don't have any sort of like diploma or anything, and they are successful. They work for people that, you know, I'm mostly talking in my case about like the entertainment business, like the music business, and everything that has to do about entertaining. I've seen that a lot. I've seen people that have no diplomas, they didn't go to school to study something, and they end up working for like important people or like important places. And I actually met someone like that they work for like someone important in the entertainment business. And like when I asked him like, what did you do to get here, you know, like, but like I didn't go to school, I don't have a diploma. Excuse me, I just happened to get lucky. I met the right people and they like me, and they told me to work for this, you know, famous person, and that's it. So I'm like, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be skillful. And I'm not saying this person in particular wasn't skillful, he is, but he was mostly lucky. He was lucky that he met people. They knew someone that worked for somebody important, and they like him, and they hire him, and he didn't have to apply, he didn't have to show a diploma because he didn't have one. He just got the job because he was a friend of a friend. And I'm mostly talking again about the entertaining business, but I'm pretty sure this happens in other fields. So in short words, what I've been realizing about life is that technicality is not harm. Technicality, I hope that's the word. It doesn't matter, you know. Education, it doesn't matter. It's just to fool you. It's just to make you be in debt. In the end of the day, what matters is connections and a good amount of luckiness. Sorry, I hope my eyes are pretty today because I have not slept. I have some eye boogers. It's okay though. It's natural. So yeah, I'm trying not to forget to ASMR. But it's definitely annoying to realize that how most people think you should be, or you should follow, like, in order to be successful you should do this and that and that. It's like, work hard, go to college, get a diploma. Like, it does not how it works. Not in the real life. Not for what I've seen. And also, how you don't want to be a slave of a company and make this company richer and richer while they pay you pennies. It's like, my time is worth a lot more than minimum wage. Your time is worth a lot more than minimum wage. The motorcycle have to pass by and win it, but yeah, pretty much that's all I have to say about it. Our time in this earth is worth a lot more than minimum wage, and it's not fair. But it's so hard to make a living. It doesn't matter who you are. It's hard. The only people that are not struggling is rich people, But yeah, so rich people are the only people who are not struggling. And I think that many young people get zombified, as in, like, they think, okay, I'm gonna handle work and handle college and handle my debt and get the diploma and then get this job and then be successful. But sometimes it doesn't go that way, and they get into this crappy job for years, and then all of a sudden they're not young anymore, and then life hits them with reality and they get bitter and then forget about who they want to be, and they, I don't know, meet a crappy person and marry them, or they lose track about who they are. Because I don't want to get too complicated into this conversation, but it's like, I feel like if you have certain aspirations and certain hopes, like you want to be a music producer, for example, and you're very, very young, and you get this job and go to school for it, but you have to go to a very expensive school because there are schools for auto engineers and they're extremely expensive. Like, bro, what I mean expensive, like, you're gonna, like, you not have to sell your soul and more to pay off that debt that you're gonna have for years and years. And let's say this young person thinks that's the way they want to make it, right? Because they're innocent and they don't know, and they are not lucky enough to have seen previously how it really goes. And let's say that they, get that full-time job, get into this expensive music school, and they have to pay, a lot of money, and they finish that career and they get a diploma, but then they have this diploma and then they have this huge debt. So this huge debt is gonna make them have to stay in that crappy job, full-time job, that is gonna steal their time to do their dream. So if they want to, like, continue their dream about, okay, they got the diploma and it says that they're finished whatever classes to be an art engineer, and they go and apply places and they don't get this job. And why would they not get this job, you'll say? Precisely because, for what I just said, in the music industry they will hire friends of friends. And I'm not talking BS, or I'm not talking bad about the music industry, but I've seen these things. They hire friends of friends. So they're not gonna hire some kid and give the opportunity to some kid while they can give the opportunity to a friend of a friend that they know. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a bad thing. I mean, think about it. Will you hire someone that you barely know if they qualify for the job, or would you rather hire someone that is the friend or your best friend, who you most likely gonna trust more, and you're helping your friends, right? So if you think about it, it's not a bad thing to hire friends of friends, if you ask me. But that's how it kind of goes for what I've seen in the music industry, not just that, the entertainment business. And going back to the story that I'm making up, this kid, he qualifies, he's talented, he went to this expensive school, he has a diploma, he did all these years, right? He's not gonna get hired because he didn't make the acquaintances, because he was studying, he was going to work. And what will happen to that kid? What will happen to that young guy? He's gonna be bitter with a lot of debt, and he's gonna lose track of his dreams and gonna lose hope and probably continue on that crappy job so he can pay that debt. So it's not like I have passed through this, obviously. I don't know anyone that has passed through this, but it's something that I can see so clear that can happen to anybody. It doesn't have to be people who want to be, auto engineers only. Going back into the 9 to 5, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think people should settle for a 9 to 5 job and forget about their dreams. And I don't think school will take you anywhere either. And this is just my perspective that I have. You don't have to think I'm right. But it just sucks to see how surviving as a human being is so difficult. And you really, really, really need to be extremely lucky and have a lot of people supporting you to get where you want to be fast. Because you can get there alone, but it's gonna take longer. We kind of want to burp. Anyway, that was some thoughts that were bothering me about how life is. And I don't think I'm the only one that thinks this way. You don't want to be an employee. You don't want to be a slave of a company and give your time away, give your youth away, give your time in this earth away. It's not worth it. So it's better that you figure it out. Maybe it's gonna take you 3 years, 5, 20, but as long as you are working towards not being an employee and are working towards, owning your own business or making your money out of whatever. I mean, something in which you can be your own boss. Because definitely. Definitely it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay, guys, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about my deep thoughts of the day. I think I made this ASMR. I hope I did. And I hope that the people who think like I do, people that think the way I think, watch this video, because I don't know anyone that thinks the way I think, and it feels kind of lonely, I do have acquaintances that like, there's nothing wrong with having a common one day in life, and to a degree it's not. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is something wrong with that. So I don't want to make people think that how they are is wrong. I just invite people to open their mind, and think that maybe, only maybe, having a mundane life is sad, and you shouldn't do it. And you should walk against the crowd, not with the crowd. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening, and yeah, that's all. Bye.